Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are setting up our bullet journal for February and I'm so excited to walk you through the process. So grab your journal, get comfy and let's get started. First, let's swatch the colors. I'll be using Tombow Duo brush pens and the main colors for this setup are green, brown, tan, and pink. I also got 2 sticker sets from Amazon. They're super cute and fit this month's theme perfectly, which is coffee and books. I'll have them linked in the description box as well. Since English is not my first language, I'm still learning and building my confidence. That's why doing a voiceover always feels a bit intimidating for me, so I'm adding subtitles to make it easier to follow along. I hope you don't mind and I really appreciate your support. I chose this theme because I absolutely love coffee and books. They are 2 of my favorite things right now, so it just felt perfect for this month. I also want to add more drawings to my bullet journal, but honestly, I'm a little nervous about drawing. That's why I like using a mix of stickers and my own sketches. It gives me the best of both worlds. I started by using a coffee cup sticker, then sketched out the books with a Sakura Pigma fine liner for the outlines. Next, I add color using Tombow Duo brush pens, but as you can see, markers can leave streaks on bullet journal paper, so I'll come back later to blend and refine the colors. As I mentioned last month, I plan to read more this year, especially now that I'm back to reading fantasy again. This month video came out a little late because on the 21st, the book I'd been waiting for was finally released. I got so into it that I finished it within a week. Now I need some new books recommendations, so if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to check them out. For the decorations, I drew coffee beans, flowers, and a bookmark to tie everything together. Now that the drawing is done, I'm moving on to the next step, which is the header for February. I chose a vintage style font for this setup. First, I sketched it out with a pencil since I'm not used to drawing this font. Then I outlined it with a fine liner pen, and after that I used a sticker fine liner and a brush pen to fill it in. I really like how it turned out. It looks great with this month's setup. Alright, and now let's go back to my books. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't a fan of the streaks from the markers on my bullet journal, so I used colored pencils to add a layer on top of it. I really love how the colors blend in so well with the markers, and it creates such a nice texture in my bullet journal. Now let's move on to the next spread, which is my quote page. This month I chose the quote "Fueled by coffee, driven by goals." I think it matches the theme perfectly, especially since I've started back on bullet journaling and goal tracking again. It's a great little reminder to keep going and stay motivated. I played around with the lettering and I really love how the overall page turned out. To decorate the spread, I added more drawings. As you can see, I had so much fun sketching and setting up this page. I want this page to be an extension of my cover spread, so I used similar decorations to keep everything cohesive. I drew some leaves, books, and coffee to match the overall theme. This way, it feels more like a matching double page spread, tying the whole setup together nicely. And as always, I will list all the stationeries I used in the description box so you can easily find them. I also have an Amazon storefront link where you can check out the supplies I use in my videos. If you are looking for new pens, marker, or stickers, feel free to check it out. And this is my dream set of colored pencils, the one I always wanted as a child. They are watercolor pencils and I remember them being so expensive when I was younger. So when I grew up, I finally treated myself and bought them, but I never actually used them until now. I tried them out for a little bit, but then I got nervous about ruining them, so I switched back to my old colored pencils to finish the rest of the page. Then I use brown color to add some extra detail and texture to my books, and that is it for my cover spread. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And the next setup is the monthly log. This month I decided to go with a regular bullet journal style, just a simple one-page setup. I didn't include a calendar spread because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using my Hobonichi Weeks as my primary planner this year. So for my bullet journal, the monthly log is more for memory keeping and tracking important appointments or events. I feel like this setup helps me keep track on things better. For the decorations, I kept it really simple. I drew a wooden shelf under the monthly log and added some stickers for decoration. I love how quick and easy it was to set up. It took me less than 10 minutes. Next up is my 4-week goal spread. As I mentioned before, this year I'm trying something new with my goal setting. Instead of setting big goals for the entire year, I'm focusing on 12 weeks goals. I realized that when I set yearly goals, it's harder to break them down into actionable steps. So instead, I'm working in quarterly cycles, breaking my goals into 12-week plans, which span about 3 months. This approach makes my goal feel more manageable and keeps me motivated along the way. Last month, I feel like I did pretty well. I managed to accomplish a few of my goals, which brings me closer to my 3-month target. Seeing my progress in just a few weeks has been really encouraging, and it makes me excited to keep going. For the setup, I kept it really simple. I drew 4 boxes, one for each week, and added a banner at the top with the title 4-week goals. That's pretty much it for the layout. My main focus is on tracking my progress throughout the month. I also wanted this spread to feel clean and functional, so I didn't go overboard with decorations. To decorate the spread, I used stickers and wanted to tie in with the previous page, so I added some leaves and coffee beans. It turned out really nice and was super easy to put together. Now it's time for my habit tracker. This month, I decided to combine my habit tracker and mood tracker into one spread, which is something I don't usually do. Instead of separating sections, I drew a bookshelf, and each day I will fill in a book with a title that represents my habits and mood for that day. I thought this would be a fun way to make tracking feel more interactive and creative. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but I'm excited to see the bookshelf fill up as the month goes on. It will also be interesting to look back and see how my habits and moods connect over time. Plus, I love how this setup fit perfectly with my theme for the month. Here's an example of how the books will look once filled in. Since it's my first time trying this format, I might make some adjustment along the way, but for now, I really love how it looks. Hopefully, it keeps me motivated to stay consistent with my habit. Before we get into the setup, let me show you what the inside of the sticker book looks like. I wanted to incorporate some stickers while still keeping the spread simple and clean. Now onto my next setup is the gratitude log. For the layout, I used the same banner style as the previous page to keep everything cohesive. Then I simply wrote gratitude as the header. Sorry my camera died, but anyways, I did pretty much the same as the previous spread. After I color in with the pencil color, I use a lighter Tombow dual brush pen to color in each line, creating a soft and subtle look. This way, the page stays functional while still looking aesthetically pleasing. And also, I wasn't really happy with the stickers I used, so I switched it out for those ones instead, and that's it for this spread. And we've finally made it to the last spread, this month's weekly setup. For this month, I'm going back to a vertical layout. Last month, I tried a diary style setup, and while I loved writing down so many details, it ended up feeling way too cramped. I also didn't have enough space to decorate, which made the pages look a bit messy. So this time I'm going for a more structured layout that feels more organized and visually balanced. I kept it simple by drawing vertical boxes for each day, adding stickers to set things up, and using my Tombow Duo brush pen to color in the headers. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your patience. And like I mentioned earlier, these videos take forever to make, and doing the voiceover is always the most challenging part for me. I'm still working on building my confidence, so I'll try to record my voiceover earlier next month. But anyway, this month's setup has been so much fun. It truly brings me joy to create and share the things I love. Even though the color palette is pretty similar to the one I used before, it's my comfort zone and I really enjoy working with it. Hopefully, I'll gain the courage to try different styles in the future. So yeah, if you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and means a lot. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Now here's the final flip through for this month's setup. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!